Hi everybody, we're just about to get started here. What do we have? About 2 minutes till live on air.
Yes.
We're excited to be with you again. Very excited. I've got lots to share with you as usual. And I've got a personal story, but we'll get to it on the air.
It's time to get your integrity back, baby.
Nutritional integrity, that
yes,
is.
Yes.
Very cool. Good.
I'm just gonna share this on our personal.
Oh yeah, me too. That's what I want to do. I'm going to share it to my business page as well.
You should share it to your business. I don't know if you can, but try.
I think I did last week, maybe.
And maybe you are right.
Yeah, I think I did.
There.
Share. I got put 2 Y's in the Zest teams. I'm going to change it. Posting as myself on myself. How do I edit post?
Okay, we've got 1 minute.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, fuck.
It's all good. It's all good.
Right, so, but first, no?
Yes.
No, this.
No, record first. Record first.
the audio, this one.
Exactly.
Okay, it's on. It
Okay.
just started.
And you pressed play, not record, right?
No, this one.
Oh, that was
Press
good.
there.
Fabulous.
Right.
That's our
Now,
recording.
the butt is on record, on play.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to begin with this.
The news is playing on the air right now. Talking about the crazy heat in Barcelona. Yellow and amber warnings, hot weather and storms.
I like storms.
Me too. Thunder, heavy rains.
No, but it really kills the humidity because yesterday and today, literally, you can just stand and do nothing but soaking wet. You're dripping with sweat.
I myself was in Marseille, France, jumping into little coves with little fishing boats, so I didn't feel the heat as much.
Oh, thanks for that.
Just thought I'd let you know. Well, T-minus 30 seconds. 35 seconds. Here we go, guys.
That was the news on Barcelona City FM, 107.3 FM, but this is...
Zest for Life, Barcelona with Vesna and Matthew. We're excited to be with you.
Yes, and it's time to talk about nutritional integrity.
Yeah, I like to have integrity of all kinds. Let's get the nutritional integrity going this week. I'm excited.
Yes.
So, yeah, we'll talk about it after the break. Yeah.
Very soon.
Cool. Oh, a lot of people commenting already. DJ Bobby B! Bobby Bastos, he's commenting. What's up,
DJ Bobby B!
He's a good
Who's that?
man. Bobby Bastos, the guy that came here, the comedian.
Ah,
Yes, he just
hi!
And this Robbie VS, is that a friend of yours? He's always
So
saying,
many people.
He's always saying hello. Always saying hello to us.
I love this song.
My sister had good feedback on that movie dancing in the studio. She's like,
I don't hear you. I'm sorry. I'm getting
my
zesty.
sister, oh, she's got my microphone on. She can't even hear me. If you guys are missing the music, you really, every once in a while, I think some weeks you should watch the Facebook Live, and then some weeks watch on Barcelona City FM, so you can actually hear the music that we're playing.
What?
It's pretty good.
What?
I'm letting them know.
Who?
Right? It's good music. And then we have the recording on Mixcloud afterwards if you want to hear the music as well. So you've got options.
Yes, I need to get on my case.
She's still not on Mixcloud.
I'm procrastinating, you know, I'm procrastinating.
Yeah.
There's something to do with me and procrastination. It's maybe a good topic to discuss in future.
Next week, I like that idea. I don't know why
Yeah.
I'm leaning into the microphone right now. We're not on the air right now. No, that's a good, actually, it's a good topic. That would be
Yeah,
good.
no, honestly, I think it happens with the lives of many people, especially with entrepreneurs,
Yes.
because, like, you gotta be so self-motivated
Of
to
course.
do everything. So.
If you guys want to hear about procrastination or some tips and tricks about it, let us know. Comment on the Facebook live stream and let us know, and we'll make that a topic for a future week. I see my mom messaging me on WhatsApp.
Hi, Mommy! It's okay, it's gonna go. Breathe, breathe, breathe.
It's like when I get the WhatsApp messages when we're Facebook living and I try to close them. And then
Yeah, because you want to do multitasking, Matthew, but
just
keep it simple.
This is why I'm a student of meditation.
Okay.
I don't know what that is, but that's not meditation. I don't think so.
I'm just taking the piss.
It's just
It's the heat.
It
No,
is.
it's the
She's
heat.
blaming it on the heat. I get it.
Well, who else? Me?
No.
Why would I blame it on
Couldn't be
me?
you. Couldn't be you.
I'm good. I don't do
Well, you
anything.
could,
I'm
should.
fantastic,
Que
baby.
fantástico.
Que fantástico.
Bueno.
Muy bueno, muy
How much more
bueno.
time do we have over there? Oh, it's another minute. I was thinking we can share Zest for Life Barcelona as well.
Share it?
Stream. Yeah,
Do I open it? Who's next?
I can do it.
Me.
You and
These
Good
leads, yeah,
is,
yeah.
yeah, you did.
Like,
No, I leave you and Good. I
oh,
leave you
yeah.
and Good.
Yeah, I forgot about them. Okay, I'm gonna put them up. First of the night. For the rest of the night. Go.
Wait,
Aha.
That's right, Barcelona. Welcome back. And it's good to meet you guys again. I want to know what's new and good for you, Vesta. What's been happening since last week when we spoke? What have you been up to?
I can't sleep.
She can't sleep. She's having some trouble sleeping.
Yeah, it's been for a while now. I
Mm.
don't know. I think, like you said, remember we spoke a few days ago that I've created probably some form of a habitual pattern
Yes.
in my brain that as soon as I put my head down,
Yeah.
I start getting busy rather
Yeah.
than sleeping.
Yes.
And I even take melatonin, which is a natural tablet for sleeping. It contains vitamin D. It's really good for your body. La 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 la. But it's not helping.
No.
Yeah.
So this doesn't sound like new and good. This sounds more like what's a bummer. So is there anything that you can look to that would be new and good in the past?
I've got new trainers.
Oh, yeah, I did. I saw those as soon as we walked into the studio. I saw her brand new white. What are they called? These classic Converse?
Converse Chuck Taylor.
Chuck Taylors. They're
Chuck
gorgeous.
Taylor,
They're
baby.
super bright. They'll
Yeah.
blind you. If you're on the video, you'll see them right now.
Yeah,
So
flashing
that's
lights.
new and good. That's really new and good. I got it. Cool.
Yeah, what's new and good with you?
Well, I'll start a little bit with a pain in the butt thing too, which is that my flight got canceled last night from Marseille, so that was a bummer. But the good news is that I found a blah blah car and I jumped in this morning at 9 a.m., got here in time for the show. It was a crazy experience.
He was sending me messages at 12 in the evening. Please entertain me. I'm stuck in
My
the
original
airport.
flight was at like 10 p.m. from Marseille to Barcelona. They delayed it by 1 hour, then another hour, and then another hour. It was like 2 in the morning by the time I got back to my friend's place, took like a nap, and then he drove me to take a car.
Well, it's good that he lived nearby, because I was like, are you going to sleep at the airport?
No,
Or are you
there
gonna-
were there's so many ways the universe had my back. Like even though the flight was canceled, I got to meet some really cool people in the car. And I prefer driving actually to taking airplanes, so that was also that's new and good as well. Yeah, And then I spent a few days in Provence with my friend Vincent.
Mademoiselle.
Yes.
Provence.
I was so taken care of by my friend Vincent.
Vincent,
Yes.
well done, Vincent.
And no, she's making fun, but she has a French boyfriend, so she's allowed to. And Vincent's parents, Babette and Dominique, were amazing and just treated me like family. So I was really, really blessed.
Merci beaucoup, Babette.
Exactly. Exactement. Merci
Exactement.
beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Incroyable.
Is that the only thing that was new and good?
That's what I want to share right now. That's what's on my mind. Yeah,
Groovy,
really
baby.
I just want to make sure before I start talking up or down. Okay, so let's see now what's happening with this. So my sister was saying, one of the things she said in her email to me, she had all these suggestions. She's like, have one of your interns with you guys so they can monitor the social media for you and then bring you questions.
Yeah, if they want
So
to
that's
come
what I
in.
think I'd want to do.
Man, where do you get them? I
My
cannot find
interns.
even one.
I've got some here. Maybe I'll share one with you. If
Please
you're good.
do.
Only if you're good.
Why would I not be good?
I don't know.
I mean, I'll give them the coaching, like, you
Here's
know.
Lucy Lou. She's so cute. Hi, hello to Barcelona from Luxembourg. Thank you, Lucy Lou.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Lucy from Luxembourg. I've never been
We
to
are
Luxembourg.
sending you sunshine your way if it's not very sunny over there today.
If you want to invite us to Luxembourg, we'll do a show from Luxembourg.
For sure, baby.
Right? We'll just get a
Yeah.
sponsor and we fly to Luxembourg. There's a lot of money I've heard in Luxembourg. So.
Or just blah blah it.
Yeah, I'll blah blah car anyway at this point. After this experience today, it was amazing. It was really good. That was really good. And then we'll go right to the principles, right? So you're leaving this next one. Whole
Seriously,
fresh.
how many you got now? How many interns you got? I'm interested.
I've got
5.
1, 2, 3. I've got 3 confirmed, 1 on deck. So it'll be, yeah.
Where do you find them? They're all from the same school.
No. 2 of them are from the school, the master's program here in Barcelona.
So pretty much you're not doing any work. They're just doing.
Well, there's different things like helping with videos, helping with promotion, different things. And then I want to have someone maybe help us to create a podcast for the show. Someone here in the studio. They learn a lot to be around someone like myself.
No, but I post a few times on Facebook and I'm not getting any responses, and I'm being very clear about whatever if I make change. Of course, you know, there's focus, coaching and things like that.
I think that because I'm going to say, I imagine, because I wrote a book, that there's something about that. I think,
Maybe there's a value more.
I've been coaching for a while, I've been coaching a little bit longer, so maybe that, I don't know.
I don't know, but maybe from Facebook it's not the right place to look
Might
for.
not be. I didn't get them from Facebook. It was all from personal connections that I made.
Word of mouth.
Yes, exactly. I know. There's a lot more of that story, which I can tell you maybe off there. No. What are we playing? Someone's saying play the names, like say the names of the artists as well. Like,
Okay, so right now we're playing Magnets
okay.
by Disclosure and Lord.
But say when we come back, you know, they
Yeah.
can, yeah.
Just for the
We're playing Magnets.
yeah, we're playing Magnets.
Where'd my drink go?
What do you mean?
I know I have a drink, but I haven't.
How many drinks you got?
I have 2 drinks. I have Vita Coco and water, so I need to hydrate. Yummy. So we want your questions if you're watching right now, looking at our faces.
Yeah,
This
we
is
keep
not a
on
television
saying
show.
this every show.
It's not.
and
It really isn't a television show. It's like a.
don't be shy. We don't even have to mention your name. You can give us some nickname that we can use, so you can recognize each other. You know, when we give you the answer.
Exactly.
And say something, baby.
Yeah. I want to know what you want more of, what you want less of, what kind of.
What you want more, what you want
So what?
less
So
of.
what? So what you want
So
more?
what?
We're getting weirder. Every episode is getting weirder.
I think it's lack of sleep for you
Yes.
and too much humidity for me.
Yeah, that's
I don't
for
know.
sure.
Well, lack of sleep for me as well. That's
Yeah.
just standard procedure these days.
Standard operating procedure.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I forgot. There's more new and good that I had. Maybe I can read it into the other ones.
Oh, maybe.
I had a lot of new and good. This week was really cool.
No, but what did I do? What did I do? What did I do?
What did you do?
What did I do? I don't even remember. I know, I went to a really good birthday party on Saturday night. Yeah. I drank tequila, lots of cava. I got drunk. Speaking of finding the balance, 80-20, having a bad day, I was pretty bad girl.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Should have seen her on her birthday party. She was moving around that room, man, like a whirling dervish. Like a Macedonian dervish.
No, I love drums.
Yeah.
Electronic music and live instruments, yeah.
Very good.
And the drums were like, and the guy played with a lot of passion, so
Oh yeah, it was
it was magnetic.
fantastic.
You enjoyed it?
I loved it. I loved it. I loved the whole thing. Loved every minute of it.
We should actually ask them to play some.
Whenever the music does like a little shake.
You're getting scared that it's over. Shit.
And she's on the boards today. I can relax. She's got the boards.
But you don't relax.
I'm managing the show outline. She'll manage the boards. People don't send me WhatsApps. It confuses me.
Yeah, don't confuse my guy.
Don't send me WhatsApps during the show. Send it on Facebook Live so I can read it there.
By the way, we should actually ask them to play some of their tunes on the birthday.
Oh, those people.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
But if they have those on SoundCloud or on
Well, I'll ask
Spotify.
them.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm going back. Who's leading? It's me.
Vesna thinks she's lost some part of her mind. It's the lack of sleep, but it's fun. I like it.
I'm just
enjoying
into
it.
the music. That's what I forgot.
Oh.
That's what's new and good,
Okay.
and this has to be shared.
Yes.
Because for first time in many years, I sang my ass off in the shower on the whole Sunday morning.
Oh. Was the window open? Did the people on the street get to enjoy or no?
Everything was open.
Okay.
Yeah, all the windows, the doors, and I had it on a loudspeaker, one of my favorite tunes on.
Great.
And I haven't done that, Matthew, for such a long time.
That's really
I
good.
felt really, really
Free
liberated.
self-expression, liberation.
Yeah, it was
Beautiful.
really nice.
Very cool. So we're diving into nutritional integrity, right? I think that's our plan for.
Yeah, our focus for the show.
I'm
yeah.
excited about it because I think I'm following most of them, but I'm looking forward to exploring them with you.
Okay, so what do you know about the principles of nutritional
Well,
integrity?
I just know, like for me, I like to have a balance in what I eat, like in any given day, given week, given month. I like to eat as many foods from the earth as possible. I like to walk around barefoot. I think those are, just connect to the earth, connect to my food. Those are some of the things. Yeah.
Well, let's start with basic introduction to those of who are not very, introduced to it. Hi, Jim. Jim is back in the studio. He was just waving. The way I see life, I think all life is nutritional, and you probably would agree with the same because like we've spoken before, nutrition is not just the food on our plate, but all the other aspects of life. And I think that the sooner people understand that, and live by this, the better lives they're going to live, more sustainable lives and more balanced lives and more happy, because if they see that nutrition can be applied in every aspect of life, then, and they build their nutritional integrity principles, alongside that, then they're definitely gaining back some balance.
A broader definition of nutrition.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la, mais oui.
So some of the principles of,
Yeah.
of nutritional integrity, like for example, is eating whole, fresh, and unprocessed foods.
I'm a big fan. I actually, I don't track it, but I've got a kind of a personal practice where every day I make sure that I eat something that has not been not been processed, and whether it's an avocado, some berries, like raw salmon, like something that has not been processed, basically.
Organic as well.
Yeah,
you try
almost always. I mean, at home, 100% organic. If I'm away from my home, I'm not 100% organic. But at least, even if it's not organic, something that has not been processed, I think is fantastic for me. Yeah, mostly organic.
So this is the first step, not only to digestion, but the first step of changing your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because by changing the food, the more freshly picked, organic, unprocessed food you eat, the better thoughts you have, the better emotions you create, because this is food that is full of life, so it can definitely change the expression of yourselves.
You might even say that food can give people a greater zest for life.
Of course.
You could say that.
It starts with that.
Okay.
It starts with it because like you cannot practice yoga and eat shitty processed foods full of artificial sugars and factory farmed anymore.
Yeah.
It just doesn't go together. It won't agree. Your body won't agree with it. You know, eventually whether you start first, you know, with a holistic practice, you know, or with the nutrition, it all goes down to the nutrition because one can't go without the other. So that is one of the first principles of nutritional integrity.
Yeah, the way I think about it is every cell in my body is made up of what I'm putting into my body. So I want to be discerning and careful about what I put in. And again, like we said in our first show, our second show, 80-20 rule, I don't always put in the perfect things, but mostly I want to make my body, have it be made of those things that are not altered from their natural state.
Exactly, and you know, not always is affordable or available for everybody to be buying, you know, 100% organic, freshly food.
That's why I put on our Zest for Life Barcelona Facebook page. If you haven't liked that yet, please do like our page, Zest for Life Barcelona, on Facebook. On there, I posted the Dirty Dozen and Clean 15. So people that are on a budget or they just don't always don't have easily available to them all organic foods, there are some that are more important to be eating organically than others.
Yeah, some of them they're 100% required to be eaten organic because of the amount of pesticides and herbicides that they contain, and some of them that you can get away without being it.
Exactly.
And when you look at the list, you will notice that most of the ones that you can get away with is because they usually with more thicker skin.
Yeah, like a sweet potato kind of thing underground.
Yeah, that's so you know, like when the spraying process, depending how many times they've been sprayed, maybe doesn't enter so much, you know, into the actual vegetable. That also, again, saying that it really depends on, you know, at what stage they've been, you know, sprayed and stuff. Because if they were in the growth process, then it does go into the DNA of the vegetable. So
this is just a general guide. This
general guide to find the balance for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's principle number 1.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Principle number 2 is flavor factor. Well, these are, by the way, not told in order. We just created in order. So, you know, like whatever the way you want to apply them, it doesn't matter as long as you apply. There's 8 of them, which we're going to discuss them today on the show. So the flavor factor is also very important when you're experimenting with lots of herbs and spices. You know, herbs and spices are very beneficial. Herbs. Jesus. English is not my first language.
I know, just for the Americans, I want you to hear. Herbs. Your herbs are fine too.
Herbs.
I just want to represent for America right now.
Okay, hello, America.
So herbs and spices. Herbs and spices
who are actually, they help a lot with decreasing cravings. They're very good, you know, like if you want to eliminate some form of cravings, and they're always good, you know, like because they're adding zest to your food.
Yeah, I think it's important. For me, when I think of this flavor piece, I think about making sure, like in a given day or week, that I'm hitting all the different parts of my tongue. You know, we have sensors for different kinds of, like most people think it's just like sugar or salty, and there's bitter, and then there's, what's the other one? There's bitter, sugar, salty, and there's another one.
Sweet? I know.
Sweet, salty, bitter. There is a fourth one, and I'm forgetting it in this. Tangy, like, or is that like? Yeah. There's, Anyway, I think it's important to, you know, to have tastes that are diverse.
Yeah, and not just that. They're like herbs and spices are full of antioxidants and vitamins and minerals, so they do protect you, you know, throughout the digestive process, you know, and they have antiviral properties.
Yes.
So, you know, I apply them on a daily basis with whatever it is that I cook.
So principle 2 is the flavor factor, which also includes added benefits beyond just flavor.
Exactly. So get some coriander in your plate, guys.
Gorgeous. Good. Are you good?
Yeah, you're not skipping video.
Oh, you forgot that.
What image do you want there?
And what's that?
I don't know. That just came up now.
Sorry?
Can you turn it off?
That's good.
That's my cake.
Let's have that.
Oh,
that's zesty.
Gorgeous.
Which is not bad either.
But I don't know.
Sorry guys, we weren't on the video on the website. We're on the
But you see, you're getting interaction on the Facebook video. Are you seeing that?
On the Facebook Live, yeah, watching.
Okay,
Absolutely. I'm actually, we were talking on air about, off air about And I said we've got a bunch of interns now, having someone sat here to manage as things are coming out on Facebook Live.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great to have someone? I'd love every show to have one person that's on top of the interaction.
Yeah, so I can have a rotating cast, or maybe one of them that is particularly.
I mean, if we go down that road, it's almost as though each show needs to have allocated to them one intern to help look after stuff. Just turn it off.
I've just turned it on.
There he goes.
Yeah, we can talk about that. But yeah, so it'll be good because then you know, I don't want to miss all the comments. There's a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Muy
Muy bien.
bien.
So it's on the next one that your friend is asking, no?
Yes.
How did I forget about streaming video?
I don't know, you just do. It happens.
No, but was on, which is the most important thing.
We were on the air in Barcelona, just we weren't streaming video to the website.
We've
Sorry,
got
guys.
this as a video.
Yeah, we're here. It's all good.
Anyway, we can't upload this on YouTube, the other one. You know, the video. We
Yeah,
can't
of course.
upload it.
Oh, sure, it's fine. It's totally fine. Oh, some sort of commenting.
Which one is the song for Cedric?
It's at the end. It's the last one. It's Safety Dance. Cedric, if you're watching, we're going to play your song towards the end of the show. Stay tuned. It's pretty fun.
No. We're getting back to
Okay.
Okay, so this is not cool, but I don't like it.
What is it?
Looking for hypnotherapy in Barcelona, look no further than Jessica Zest.
Yeah, I saw it.
You know, like, we should close these things after the show is finished.
Good point.
Okay. It's you now.
So, and it's me, okay. And make sure we say the name of the song.
Okay.
I could be the one? That's Dua Lipa.
You could be the one.
Be the one, Dua Lipa. I'm not sure where she's from, but I love her song. So we're back with Zest for Life Barcelona.
Yes, and I just want to shout out to Jackie Bear.
Yes.
America says hello.
Yes, see,
America says hello.
They appreciate when we speak proper American English.
Mark Balaj, hello, get drunk, stay drunk from Birmingham. That sounds too English, you know. Not my style, Mark, sorry.
And I don't know, Zest for Life Barcelona, I don't know if that's your show, but I'm glad you're watching. It's good to have
Are you watching it drunk?
No, we do. We have drinks as well. It's not.
Yeah, it's true, but not get drunk, stay drunk all the time.
Not staying drunk. So,
Jackie Bear, get weird, stay weird.
oh, that works
We're
better.
more than weird.
Yeah, we've gone beyond the boundaries of weird. So we're back to talk about some principles, right? We want to talk about principle. I'm really excited about principle number 3.
Hi Lucy, sorry.
Oh, Lucy's here.
Lucy
as well.
Lou, hello
Lucy
to
Lou.
Barcelona. I know you said to her hello to Barcelona from Luxembourg.
Yeah. And Lucy Lou is also the name of the actress that was in Charlie's
Yes.
Angels. So I'm a little confused. I don't think it's her. If she's living in Luxembourg.
If you are that one, then hi, baby.
So principle 3 is connecting with nature, right? Walking around barefoot's an example of this.
Very important because it makes you ground.
Yeah, and how do you hug trees, don't you?
Yes, I love hugging trees.
Yeah, I would like to see a picture of you one time doing this a selfie.
I actually have one.
Zest for Life Barcelona. Put it on our Facebook page, and
We
can see
should,
it.
yeah.
We can,
I absolutely love it.
we can do an art series, a kind of artistic series of making
Of the
love to
Principles of
trees.
Nutritional Integrity. Why don't we just do all of 8 of them, but different, you know?
We can have representations,
Yeah.
always with trees, though.
Come on.
I was just, as I said earlier, I was in the south of France. I was in Aix-en-Provence and Marseille, and I was walking along we were in like a cove, and there were these rocks, and I was noticing that my feet hurt a little bit, and I was like, this is how it is, because I'm always wearing socks and shoes. Like, my feet don't know what it's like to have to deal with a surface that's not completely flat and completely comfortable. And
Yes, they've definitely forgotten.
yeah, they've forgotten, and I don't like that. So I like this principle.
Well, it's becoming popular more and more lately. I'm going to turn up the
Yeah, it's a little chilly in the studio. We're going to reduce the air conditioning.
I know that they are recommending it now, as a regular practice, in a way of like connecting to the earth and staying grounded. I totally agree with that. Another thing, connecting with nature, of course,
Yeah.
playing around nature, hugging trees. I find it really therapeutic. There's something grounding about the nature itself.
I've heard about something with walking barefoot having to do with electromagnetic, like something happens with our electromagnetic field. I don't know if this is scientific, but I've heard, like there's something, there is something electromagnetic about the earth. I mean, lightning strike. There's
I mean, we come from the earth, so.
I don't know. It felt really good when I can say from an actual experiential perspective.
If everyone could practice that, it would definitely make me a happier person.
There you
Because
go.
to be honest with you, like back in Macedonia, as a kid, I grew up barefoot.
Okay.
Running around, playing games, like at the front, like garden of the house.
Yeah.
We literally did grow up back in the 80s barefoot. Like all my friends, like we didn't know what mobiles are. I had no, like the first little Nokia I got when I was 18.
Sure.
Nowadays, every kid at the age of 6 has an iPad,
Yeah.
never mind anything else.
Probably spending less time connecting with the earth.
Exactly. So I think it's very important that we do still practicing, going back to basics.
Yeah. Maybe if you're a kid and you're listening, you can just start by playing your video games whilst barefoot out in your backyard. And then principle number 4, this one's about stress, right? Reducing just the day-to-day kind of stress level that we have, yeah? I think that it's so important. And, that, there's obviously many different ways that different people can reduce their stress. I wonder, when you find your stress level is high during the day, what do you end up doing? How do you distress yourself?
Go out for a walk, or I train. Music helps too. Practice, yoga practice.
Yeah.
With meditation, I was much better before, back in the days, than I'm now. And it's something that it's been calling me to get back into it. But what I find is that at the moment when I'm stressed, it's easier to do some breathing technique rather than, sinking into a meditation, because my mind is still buzzing, and it's still like quite activated on that stress emotion.
Yeah.
So I think first is to calm down the emotion and then quiet down the mind. So it's really good to start with, even if it's just a simple 3 breath steps technique,
Perfect.
that you do it as long as, you feel that you start to wind down.
Yeah. I'm glad you're feeling this call towards meditation, because you're attending my first free meditation class on Saturday, aren't you? You're one of the attendees.
Is it Saturday?
It's this oh, you're not going to be there.
What time?
It's in the evening. She asked for a space, and I held a space for her. There's a waiting list. So we'll talk off air about this.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, so
I'm sorry.
So breath, there's meditation, there's lots of things that people can do. I actually am learning in my meditation training course about a kind of walking method, just counting your steps, like you're breathing in, counting your steps, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And that's one way to very quickly focus the mind and be aware of the breathing. I think those are there's just simple things. It's usually, like, the mind wants to make it complex. That's what stress is. It's really basically making whatever's happening more complex than it actually is. So if you can focus on your breath, which is a very simple thing that's been happening since you were born and will happen until you die, that will very likely de-stress you. And I think that's a great tool if people are wondering something they can do to de-stress themselves on a regular basis in a quick way, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree.
So that's principle number 4. If people have more questions about these principles, just please comment on the Facebook Live, either if you're listening on recording or live, and we'll be ready to answer them.
Yes, and now it's time for some music.
Okay, I love it. That was when, Jackie, that was when you were going to ask a question, but I don't see the first thing. No, I can't keep up with all the comments, actually. There's a lot. Oh. Oh, so many comments. Yeah. Okay, my family's going crazy on the WhatsApp. Enough. How do I see all the comments?
What do you mean?
I don't see all the comments. I only see
Go
4
on
comments.
Barcelona to do them.
There's more. So the comments only show wherever you shared it.
yeah.
Okay, got it. Got it. That's why it would be good to have an intern, because to monitor all of them is impossible, actually.
That's really strange. I can't press anymore on my auto lock. Look.
I don't know what that means.
It's the one that where it's never, so it doesn't go down with the picture.
So what's raised to wake? What is that?
I have no idea.
That's got to come up, I think.
Autolock has some.
I don't know what to say about that. So just so you guys know, in future episodes, we'll be interacting with you more on this video. Right now, I'm trying to look at our social media and talk to us and interact with you, and it's a little bit hard. So we're aware of that, and we're going to find ways to do more interacting with you guys on video.
Well, we've got time. The music is, and I think we're not running ahead of time. We're running out of time, no? It's 6:33.
Yeah. We have still to go 2 more segments on that, and then our what's up in between. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I can always go cut the music sooner.
Yeah, it's fine. Maybe just make you spend a little bit less time on the next one.
I love this principle. Relax and mindful eating.
Okay. Only acknowledge the question
Yeah.
after.
Yeah. By the way, what are we playing now? We're playing "Feeling for You"
Yes.
by Sugar Hill and Wasabi. Do you like wasabi?
Not a huge fan actually. When I get sushi, I usually get the ginger and put the ginger on it, not the
I love
wasabi.
both of them.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of wasabi. But
Have you ever tried wasabi chocolate?
yes, I have.
Dark
That's
chocolate.
okay. That works alright. Yeah, that balances that out a bit. But pure wasabi on sushi doesn't work for me. Too much. Too stimulating. Just about that. Just about that. Good. Yeah, I want that. I'm excited about the idea of having someone else in the studio with us, because this is too much for me to be paying attention to.
But when butt is on,
Butt.
when the butt is on, that is streaming live, no?
Sure.
Yeah. And this starts streaming live video and audio, what it is for? It's
That's-
only just for the audio on the website.
I think it's just for the video.
For the video, sorry.
Yes, I think the audio is on the website, just not the video.
Okay. That put me off my balance a bit. It changed my emotions. It's
Oh,
something
just
to pay
because you didn't
attention.
press
Yeah,
finish?
yeah. Perfectionist. But it's something to acknowledge, which is good. It's all
It
good.
is all good, actually. In reality, no war started, no one, we didn't cause pain to anyone. Yeah.
So, is it me? Ah, yeah. Pop, 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 pop. Such a good tune, no?
Feeling for you, right? Sugar Hill and Wasabi.
Yes.
Wasabi. Fantastic.
So, speaking of the principles of nutritional integrity, we are back to principle 5.
Oh, which one is that one?
Relaxed and mindful eating.
Yeah, it's a good idea to be relaxed when you're eating, right?
It's very good for the digestion,
Yeah, for sure.
because if your digestive system is under stress, you're not digesting the food properly, you're not putting it in the right way, you're not putting the right energy.
Yeah.
So what I mean by relaxed and mindful eating is basically try to practice, if you can't for all your meals throughout the day, at least one meal, whether probably that's going to be dinner time, when you're off work and when all the responsibilities are done for the day, that you switch off your phone, switch off your TV, put all these electronics aside. Well, we are not able to do it. We are
Not in the studio, for sure.
bombarded by them. But put electronics aside, and just sit with the food. This is what it means, building relationship with the food. So it's one of the ways how to do it. You sit with the food, you connect with the food, and you're really paying attention to every single bite that you're putting in.
It's actually a kind of meditation almost, in a way.
It is because you're practicing presence. You know, it's like mindfulness.
Yeah.
You're practicing presence, connection with the food. You're building this communication. Obviously, you're not using language. The cabbage can speak back to you.
Well, I haven't heard it speak to me.
But you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, that you know, direct contact, and chewing is so important.
Yeah.
You know, throughout this whole process, because I really think that we are a nation of being chew deficient.
Which nation? Spain or the world?
Just the world.
Okay.
Yeah, like I mean, like
Race.
race. Yeah,
Yes.
that is chewing deficient.
Mm.
Really, because like we're stress eaters. We're constantly eating in a rush.
Mm.
You know, rushing to get to work. You know, eating in front of our computers whilst we are working to save time. So we are not paying attention to the food at all. And we probably swallow more rather than actually chew.
Yeah, I learned that one from my grandfather on my father's side. He was,
Mm.
I think he said some number of, there was like, I think it was like 22 or 24 chews each time I would put food in my mouth. And that, I
Yeah,
just remember him
25
saying
to
that, something
30.
like this.
Yeah.
And so I think I took that on early, and I'm still to this day usually the last person to finish eating. And that's one of the things I really am grateful for from that grandfather, was that wisdom, that he just kind of knew. It's not like he was like drilling it into me, but I think he said it a few times and I picked up on it, and I think it's a smart thing to do. I've heard other people say put your fork down or knife down between each bite, or just little cues for ways to
That
make
is
sure.
a way of relaxed and mindful eating
Yeah.
as well. The chewing is that, you know, our saliva is like a liquid gold. It
Mm.
holds so many secretions.
Secretion.
Secretions. Secrets.
Secret. There's also secrets.
Yeah,
in there.
secrets, you know, that actually, that's where the first step begins, one of the first steps to digestion, because, you know, it really helps breaking down all the protein and the nutrients in the mouth before it enters into our gut.
Yes.
So it helps our gastrointestinal tract, you know, with the process of digesting the food properly.
It's the beginning enzymatically of digestion, also just creating more surface area for the food, so that when it gets to your stomach, the acid can act on it in a way that's more effective. Yeah, I know that one.
You
That one
know
I-
your shit.
I did go to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I don't focus on nutrition, but I do know some things about it.
I love nutrition.
Yeah, I know you do. So that's principle number, which one was that?
Yeah, this is 5, you know,
Okay.
the relaxed and mindful eating. Part of that is also gratitude,
Got
you
it.
know. So you prepare your food,
Yeah.
you know, and you add some vitamin L
Mm.
with it, which is love.
Yeah.
And you sit down and you express gratitude, obviously, for the food that you are, for the beautiful and healthy food you are able and you've been given to eat today, because someone, somewhere,
Picked
has
it, grew it,
picked it, grew it, planted, you know.
sent
So
it to you.
exactly. So let's say thanks to the farmers, you know.
Yeah, and that's
Better thanks to the farmers than to the pharmacists.
yeah. Well, there you go. I like that phrase. That was a cute one. That's what I'm less good at. I'm really good with the chewing piece, but I'm not good at usually pausing or setting the mood of the space where I'm eating. I don't do that one as often as I could.
Try it, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it tonight.
And like, there is a reason why, you know, like highly religious people that
Mm.
are practicing, you know, they tend to, you know, praise the Lord before
Yeah.
beginning. You know, I think it's a nice gesture. You know,
Well, it's
you don't
interesting.
have to go religious that way, but
Yeah.
I think it's nice.
When I was younger, we did say grace, and that was from the grandfather on my other side. He was really strong about that one, about saying grace before the meal. So I really have such good influences from both.
So if you really think about
Yeah.
it, doesn't everybody puts them in the present moment once
Yes.
you said the grace, you
Yeah.
know, and then you begin.
You can really appreciate that. I like it. Well, I like
Yeah.
it. That's number 6. That's principle number 6, gratitude. Fabulous.
Yes,
That's what we're calling
yes,
principle
yeah.
number 6.
Yes, yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
relax and
And now I'm
mindful.
gonna say grace to a music.
Okay, good. Who's gonna be playing? Oh, we got Sia coming up, right?
I love Sia.
Let's let it play.
See ya. Come on.
See ya.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, cool. So, we got 2 more segments and then we're done. Oh, okay. Go ahead and acknowledge Jackie. I love you See, now I get worried that I can hear this out here. I get worried that I can hear it. Like that it seems so loud in the studio.
It's not. It's on the minimum.
I know. And yeah, I guess they're not doing they're not stopping it last time, so I think do you hear it now when
Yeah.
you do? We have this beautiful photo, and we spent so much time before we go on air to get it going, and it just keeps going dark. I don't know.
No, but your movement was
It's
just...
just like, bleh. It's like bleh, bleh, bleh. Herbs.
Ravi!
Oh,
Hello, Ravi! Jackie didn't pose the question?
She did actually. She said I addressed it, so
But we can still answer.
yeah. Yeah.
When
I'll
we
come
come
back.
back now. Yeah, definitely. We'll get back to it.
Yeah, perfect.
It's reached over 1,600 people.
Everyone's
Fabulous! Yeah!
Oh, no, too fair.
Right, okay, let's go back into it because it's 44.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome back to Zest for Life Barcelona. Vesta and Matthew here with you. We've got our first listener question.
Yes.
It has to do with what we talked about 2 segments ago, which was about, let me read this exactly. It's from Jackie Barr.
About de-stressing.
Yeah, she says, are there simple techniques we can do to get at principle number 4, reducing day-to-day stress? What are some meditation or other types of practices those of us who are at work or school 8 to 9 hours a day can do? And we kind of addressed it during the segment. There's this walking meditation idea. That's something you can do. Vesta was saying that she sometimes just breathes consciously for a few moments.
Yeah, just 3 simple breaths or more, just sit down, and take a minute to just take a deep breath, inhaling through your nose and exhaling deeply through your mouth.
Yeah. It's interesting because I actually promised my my social media followers that I'd record a new meditation. Maybe I'll record a walking meditation so people can learn what that's like. It's basically it's you're just counting your steps and then you add some kind of rhythm to the breathing. We'll talk about rhythm next in our principles.
Yeah.
You can be breathing in for a certain number, breathing out for a certain number, counting your steps, and it's very
It's all
simple like that.
about rhythm, maybe.
Yeah, and so I think we generally tend to make it complicated about de-stressing, and that's more of the stress. It's actually more of the same thing that got you in that state. So the things that are going to get you out of stress are probably simpler than you're imagining.
This reminds me to one sentence, like what resists persists.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're trying to get there so desperately,
Yes.
rather than just let go and let be. So it's the same like when you're running around trying to chasing to remove your ego is the best way to sustain it.
Exactly. It's like those Chinese, what are those things you put your fingers into and you try to pull them out?
What's that?
There's in China you put your 2 fingers into this little papery thing, and then the more you try to rip them out, the tighter it binds to you.
Ah, right.
Oh yeah,
right.
I'll put a picture
That's
of
really
it.
awesome.
Yeah, I'll put a picture of it on Zest for Life so people can see what that. Yeah, it's the resisting persisting conversation, for sure.
Another subject to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. So then we've got some more principles to discuss. Yeah.
Yes, well, you mentioned rhythm and ritual. So basically, about rhythm and ritual is, of creating a sacred space between meals. When you start building that relationship with your body and with the food, you will be more intuitive and consciously aware. When does your body really needs food?
Yeah.
So basically, what it means by creating a sacred space between meals is that giving enough time
Yes.
to your digestive system to do its work, between each meal before you get again onto the next plate. Now, how is this reached? This is reached only if you're eating consciously, by chewing consciously that food, by paying attention, connecting to that food. Because what happens is that when you're watching TV and you're gobbling on some plate of whatever it is, and it doesn't matter how healthy it is, but you don't realize the amount of food that you can eat. And you might refill, and then all of a sudden when you stop, you're like, I'm so full, I'm so stuffed. That's why, because you have not even given a chance to your digestive system to register that it's time to eat and you've eaten too quickly because you're focusing on something else. So that on its own, you know, like not being conscious, will not give you enough space until your next meal. So creating that sacred space is very important.
Yeah, I got it. And I notice, I think every time I go to France, I notice this, and even with friends of mine who were raised in French or in a French culture, that they just tend to not snack. There's a lot of resting in between meals. There's not, like, as an American, I think I was raised in a way that where it was like, if I was hungry, I would eat. And I didn't, like, I'll eat most of the day, so I don't really pause. And then, you know, I think it's, my body has kind of gotten used to that, but I think maybe if you're feeling, if your energy is not the way you want it to be, maybe you're out of rhythm. Maybe this conversation is like, probably everyone has different rhythms. Like some people, because I've heard some people lose weight more when they eat more frequent, smaller meals. That's like a theory out there.
Right. It keeps the metabolism working
Yeah.
all the time.
But
But
then
it
other
depends on
people,
the body.
exactly. So other people are different. Like some people, so I just noticed I really respect the French culture for putting that space in between the meals and not, you know, putting little snacks in between things and just really waiting for the actual meal to arrive and putting energy and effort and attention into making that meal great.
Yeah. And speaking of the digestive system, you know, like because this is our small life that, you know, feeds us and keeps us alive. And every day, you know, we put things into our small world from the big world, from the outside world, and we don't always know what. So in order to support our digestive system and to find the balance, you know, I think it's every person, whether they're okay with their health or not, they should actually eat digestive friendly foods.
And that's principle number 8, isn't it?
And that's principle number 8, infinity.
Things like kefir, kombucha, bone broth, these kind of things.
Yeah. Anything, you know, that supports the good bacteria in your gut. So kefir is amazing.
Yeah.
Kombucha. You've tried my kombucha.
Absolutely. Kombucha is fantastic. Really, actually, it was the best one I've ever had, honestly, I would have to say. And we're going to talk a lot more about this because I'm still learning. I remember on our previous shows we've talked about some of the gut health things that I was dealing with. And I'm starting to learn a lot more. I've been talking with my naturopath in San Francisco. The upcoming show, we might even have her as a guest. Like, we're going to figure out how to, because there's more to this, and Dustin's fascinated by it as well.
Yeah, I find it very complex, but because it's so complex, it's fascinating.
Indeed.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah,
On time.
yeah, good. That article I sent you, and I sent it to the naturopath, and I'm pretty. It just feels, I sense that that's what went on with the stroke. I feel like that's what happened. Like there was like an overgrowth, and it wasn't crossed the barrier to the blood, and then it just, because there was no cholesterol, there was no high blood pressure. Looked at my blood cells, they're formed correctly. I mean, the medical community just stopped there, but there was more.
Today I saw an article, it was absolutely disgusting, but really good. 25-year-old or 27-year-old bodybuilder who's been eating, I don't know how many grams of steak every single day to build up, but it was pork meat. Pork meat. And they took out about 1 kilo or 10 kilos, I'm not sure, of parasite worms out of his stomach.
That's a whole nother story. Parasites. So there's like the gut flora, and then there's parasites.
Yeah. Now these are because the pigs are considered to be the most dirty animals because they eat even their own feces. And stuff.
Pigs eat poop.
So many people eat like medium rare, half-cooked steaks, you know what I mean? Some of these parasite worms are that strong that even through cooking you cannot kill them.
Okay.
Like if you consume this, everything, like they literally took them out, strings, in a massive plastic bowl. I saw the video, it was, ow.
I don't know about you guys, I do not want to see that video. I'm hoping she doesn't share it.
No, I haven't shared it, but the guy was complaining. He's been eating so much because he's a bodybuilder and he constantly complained of hunger.
Yeah.
Because they're
Parasites
eating
really
it,
stuff.
yeah.
That's it.
It's mad.
That's what happens when you got parasites. Horrific. Horrific. Really bad. So the meditation, that's what you're not going to be there. So
no, but it's like if I'm not going to be there,
it's at 7
feel
p.m.
free to get 7 p.m. It really depends where we go because we're looking for a lake.
Okay. So if you don't know if you're going to be there, then I'm going to give it away because
Yeah.
But you can come to the second one. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Well, why don't we play a replay?
I'm gonna respect people's privacy. I might create a snippet of it, but there's a portion of it which is the actual meditation, and then there's the question and answer piece. And that part I don't want to have.
Okay.
I want to respect people's privacy.
No,
So
that's fair.
free meditation class every Saturday with moi.
Is it going to be every Saturday?
I'm gonna do it every Saturday, yeah. And it's through Google Hangouts. And so there's a waiting list. So if you want to be on with a free meditation class with me, I'm training to be a teacher, so that's why I'm offering it for free initially. It's going to be every Saturday from, what did I say, 7? 7 to 8 p.m. Barcelona time, so that's 6 to 7 London time, noon to 1 New York, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. San Francisco, Los Angeles. So if you want to be in part of that, hit at your boy. Send me a message on Facebook. You can do it on Zest for Life Barcelona or me personally. And I would be happy to slot you in for when there's an opening. Right now there's a list, but there'll be openings as we go forward. Vesta just went into a deep meditation. I don't know if she's going to be here for the rest of the show or not. I'm not certain. Okay, 30 seconds back to airtime.
So we're coming to the end. It's incredible how
Every
time
time,
flies.
every
Every time is faster. What are you up to this weekend?
As we were talking about during the music break, our Facebook Live listeners will be aware that I have my very first free meditation class that's happening this Saturday. It's already booked full, so you can't join this one. But if you want to be on future ones, you can send me, you go to Well World and just send me a message there, wellworld.com. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be my first meditation class that I'm offering for free. And it's on Google Hangouts.
If I'm back from the beach, I will join maybe, but maybe you should give out this. I mean, I don't know. Allow me to confirm you by tomorrow.
Okay, let me know by tomorrow, and then I'll let the person know on the list that I'll let them know by tomorrow afternoon.
I think that's best. Any other plans for the weekend?
That's the most exciting thing. I'm going to be spending a few days at my friend Jordy's place because my friend Vincent rented out his place where I'm staying right now. So it's complicated. I'm playing a little bit of a sofa Tetris right now, like back and forth, different places. Just because I'm going to New York pretty soon for the birth of my nephew, so I decided not to sign a lease until I get back.
Did you find out anything about the strikes?
So, Vesta was talking with me when I was stuck in Marseille last night. So apparently in Barcelona here, there are rolling air traffic controller strikes. There's certain days they've already said they're going to be on strike this month.
Okay.
And then separately, the baggage handler people are on strike at different times. So not every flight is affected, but many flights are affected. So you just got to kind of deal with your carrier. Because I'm flying out this month, Vesta may also be flying out this month, so we got to work on this stuff. So if you're in Barcelona, you've got to know about this. If you're planning on coming to Barcelona, check with your carrier because there's a little bit of chaos right now.
Yeah, well, it was a chaos for you, although it turned out to be a blessing because you met new people and stuff, but like waiting from 8 p.m. until 3 a.m. in the morning, it's
fun. And thank the universe for BlaBlaCar. I want to just do a shout out to the guys in my BlaBlaCar. Let's see, there was Nicola driving. There was, who else did we have? Oh shoot, we had Vincent in the passenger seat. Vincent. And then the Italian guy was named Tazik or Tariq. I don't remember exactly his name. He's fantastic. He spoke like 5 languages. So I ended up making new friends in the car. It was really fun.
Well, hi Tariq, hi Vincent, hi Nicola.
I told them they'd be famous in Barcelona by the end of the day.
Well, I hope they're listening because you are famous now.
That's right. Now, what are you up to the next week?
Well, I'd like to go this weekend to find a lake around Catalonia.
Okay, nice.
Will be a nice change,
I've never been to a lake in Catalonia.
Me neither. That's why I want to do it.
Probably the water will be nice and cool if it's a deep lake.
Nice and clean as well. So if I find some, I'll let you know for
Yeah,
sure.
take
Maybe
pictures.
get the train or go take the bikes, on the train and then cycle to the lake. I don't know how we're gonna do it.
I'm sensing a bike and lake selfie on Zest for Life Barcelona Facebook page. And then we had a request last week, a musical request, right, from Cedric.
Cedric, the famous Cedric, who didn't leave us alone for the first half of the show. I had to talk to him more than to my viewers.
He's getting his wish today. We got Men Without Hats, the extended club remix of the safety dance. That's how we're going to sing.
I hope you're listening.
Yeah, you better be listening this week.
You better be listening.
It was great to be with you guys.
Yes, guys, thanks a lot for listening. Thank you for the questions, for the interaction. We're going to be back next weekend with more zesty topics. Please tune in. Please be there. Please ask questions. Don't hesitate. And we love you.
Big zesty hug.
Bye.
This is a funny song. Okay, now, a lot of things have to happen afterwards. Let's see.
What do you mean?
click on the checklist for like exporting the show and stuff like that. Let's see here. So I'm gonna end this stream for now. Bye guys.